9 things you must think about to become rich, both in mindset and practical living. 1. Think long-term, not short-term. When it comes to building wealth, one of the greatest differences between those who stay stuck in financial struggle and those who become truly rich lies in their mindset about time. Rich people think in decades, while most people think in days. To become rich, you must train yourself to think long-term, not just about money, but about your decisions, your habits, and your goals. 1. The trap of short-term thinking. Short-term thinking is one of the most common wealth killers. Many people look for quick money or overnight success. They chase lottery tickets, risky get-rich-quick schemes, or shortcuts that seem easy but are unstable. The truth is, wealth doesn't grow overnight. It grows like a seed planted in good soil. It requires patience, nurturing, and consistency. When someone is focused only on the next paycheck or the next month's expenses, they often make poor decisions that harm their long-term growth. For example, spending all income instead of saving or investing, jumping from one opportunity to another without mastery, taking unnecessary loans for instant gratification, new phones, cars, or luxuries. This mindset keeps people trapped in a cycle of working hard, but never building lasting wealth. 2. The power of long-term vision. Thinking long-term is about looking beyond today's needs and asking, where do I want to be in 5, 10, or 20 years financially? What legacy do I want to leave behind? What can I do today that will make my future self richer, freer, and happier? For example, when you start saving and investing early, even small amounts grow massively over time because of compound interest. Someone who invests $200 a month at age 25 will be a millionaire by 55 if invested wisely. Meanwhile, someone who starts at 40 will have to put in much more money for smaller results. The earlier you adopt a long-term mindset, the more wealth you can accumulate with less stress. 3. Building habits for long-term wealth. Long-term wealth is built not by one big action, but by small daily habits repeated over years. Here are some essential long-term habits. Saving consistently, setting aside at least 10–20% of income, investing wisely in assets that grow, stocks, real estate businesses, avoiding debt traps, only borrowing for assets that produce income, continual learning, developing skills that increase your earning power, networking, building relationships that bring opportunities later. The problem is, many of these habits don't show immediate rewards. Reading a financial book today doesn't make you rich tomorrow. Investing $100 may seem small, but when you stay consistent for years, the growth becomes visible. 4. Delayed gratification. The key to riches. At the heart of long-term thinking is delayed gratification. This means sacrificing short-term pleasure for long-term rewards. For example, instead of buying a new luxury car now, you invest the money and buy 3 cars later with investment returns. Instead of wasting time binge-watching shows daily, you spend that time building a side business that generates passive income. Instead of spending all your salary on clothes and parties, you put part of it into real estate or stocks that will pay you for life. The richest people understand this principle. They live below their means while building wealth, then enjoy financial freedom later. Poor people do the opposite. They try to look rich now but remain broke forever. 5. Long-term thinking in business. Business owners who think short-term focus only on making quick profits. They cut corners, under-deliver, or avoid reinvesting in their growth. As a result, they may earn money for a while, but they cannot sustain success. Meanwhile, long-term entrepreneurs invest in brand reputation, customer trust, innovation, and scalability. They might not make huge profits in the first few years, but eventually, they dominate markets. Amazon, for example, did not make profits for years because Jeff Bezos was focused on long-term growth and market share. Today, it is one of the richest companies in the world. 6. Long-term thinking in career. Even if you're not an entrepreneur, long-term thinking matters. Employees who constantly jump from job to job for small salary increases may never build deep expertise. But someone who spends years mastering a skill or profession eventually becomes rare, valuable, and highly paid. Investing time in education, certifications, networking, and skill building is a long-term strategy that ensures financial growth. 7. Long-term thinking in personal life. Wealth is not only about money. Long-term thinking also applies to health, relationships, and personal development. For example, taking care of your health now ensures you don't spend all your wealth later on hospital bills. Building good relationships over years creates a support system that brings both emotional and financial opportunities. Developing discipline today makes it easier to manage wealth tomorrow. 8. Breaking free from short-term traps. To shift from short-term to long-term thinking, you must 1. Set clear financial goals, e.g., I want 500 0 in investments in 10 years. 2. Create a roadmap. Outline monthly savings, investments, and learning steps. 3. Track progress regularly. Review and adjust your financial plan. 4. Avoid temptations. Don't fall for trends, quick schemes, or peer pressure to spend. 5. Surround yourself with long-term thinkers. Your environment shapes your mindset.